So after a lot of bad news for crypto this month, we finally have some really good news that came out from China. Let's talk about it. Hello guys and welcome back to Crypto Fire, where we talk about Dogecoin, cryptocurrency, and investing. Before we go any further, please keep in mind that we're giving away $100 to a random subscriber. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment on your favorite cryptocurrency. Read our description for more info about it. Now let's get started with today's video. So, the greatest news from today is that the hash rate of Bitcoin is finally rising after a major decline this month. We know that China has been doubling down on its crackdown on Bitcoin mining, which caused the hash rate to fall by over 50% this month. It raised a lot of concerns for holders who thought that Bitcoin's price is going to fall even more because of the continuous drop in hash rate. And we know that Bitcoin's price has a huge impact on Dogecoin's price. So this is definitely something to be happy about. So if you don't know, Bitcoin's hash rate could be a good indicator of its price too. Before I talk about how it could affect its price, let's try to understand Bitcoin hash rate for a minute. This article explains it quite well. So, in essence, the hash rate of the Bitcoin network is the pace at which miners can complete proof-of-work computations per second. The greater the hash rate, the more blocks are mined, increasing the likelihood that an individual miner will solve the block reward puzzle and get newly minted Bitcoin. A high hash rate is a sign of a robust Bitcoin mining environment. It implies that an increasing number of miners are utilizing the most efficient mining hardware and are competing with one another to process transactions and solve block reward problems. Because of proof of work, the Bitcoin blockchain is safe and unchangeable. From the perspective of an investor, the hash rate is an important measure to monitor since it indicates that miners are deploying new equipment, potentially in anticipation of a higher Bitcoin price. Basically, this means that Bitcoin miners are finally optimistic about the future of Bitcoin mining, and there are a number of reasons behind it. Take a look at this. It says here that the hash rate of Bitcoin began to slowly rise, and some Chinese miners' machines began to land in Kazakhstan and North America, but it is expected that it will be difficult to return to 130E in half a year unless China's policy is loosened. So, last week, the Chinese Bitcoin giant BitMining delivered 320 mining machines to Kazakhstan, and they're probably going to deliver another batch of 2,600 machines later this week. On top of that, BitMining has also invested $25 million in a crypto mining data center in Texas in partnership with Dory Creek. Now, what's interesting about this is that this mining facility will be powered by 85% low-carbon energy. So the point I'm trying to make here is that the future looks pretty good for Bitcoin mining and the miners are finally optimistic about it, which is why the hash rate is increasing. Now, as I said, this could lead to a direct increase in Bitcoin's price. Let's take a look at this. According to Max Kaiser, Bitcoin's price could definitely follow its hash rate. He said that the constant 10-minute emission schedule of Bitcoin is the lure that will always attract miners, even acting irrationally, that pushes up hash rate with price following. So I think I won't be surprised if we see a spike sometime soon for Bitcoin and Dogecoin in the coming weeks. Apart from this, there is some other really interesting news for Dogecoin that came out today. Before I talk about it, I'd like to remind you that I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So you should probably do your own research before investing anything into cryptocurrencies. Now let's talk about some great news for Doge that you might have missed today. So, Dogecoin is finally available for trading at Wealthsimple Crypto. If you don't know, it is one of the biggest crypto trading platforms in Canada, so I think it could bring a lot more funds into Dogecoin soon. Another great news from Canada is that Park & Finch Eyewear is now accepting Dogecoin payments. This is pretty great because they offer top-quality prescription eyewear and digital protection glasses to their customers. And this is just another, adding to the already massive list of 1,400 retailers accepting Doge right now. Now, another great news that came out was that two payment companies have teamed together to accept cryptocurrency payments at 50,000 electric vehicle charging stations in Europe. The collaboration is between HIPS Payment Group Limited and Verity, which is a Swedish startup that specializes in EV charging stations. This is going to be a huge deal because electrical vehicles are the next big thing. We know that Elon Musk is already thinking about accepting Dogecoin as a payment method for Tesla. So this is basically a cherry on top. Now, another great news came out from Miami. Take a look at this. Miami Beach's most expensive penthouse just sold in America's largest known cryptocurrency real estate deal. It says here that this penthouse was bought for a massive $22.5 million and was paid for entirely in cryptocurrency. And now take a look at this. Now you can buy Sansiri's houses and condos with crypto. This is significant since Sansiri is one of Thailand's largest property developers. It now has more than 200 projects spread around Thailand. They are now collaborating with Thai fintech companies Bitasa and Xspring Digital to allow crypto transactions. So I think all this is really bullish for crypto as they're a huge step forward for crypto's popularity in real estate. Now, let's talk about some great news from El Salvador for a minute. So, Chainbytes LLC is going to bring Bitcoin ATM machines to El Salvador. Their announcement said that Chainbytes will provide services to Salvadorans looking to operate Bitcoin ATM machines in the country and collaborate with their government, legal entities, and partnerships to ensure the manufacturing hub succeeds and brings prosperity to the country. And it isn't the only company that's helping El Salvador. Another one is Athena, which is going to bring more than 1,500 Bitcoin ATM machines to help El Salvador. To do this, Athena will deploy a few dozen computers in order to evaluate its business strategy. They also intend to invest more than $1 million for their installation. So I think it is pretty incredible to see companies like these come forward to support El Salvador's initiative to make Bitcoin legal tender. Now let's talk about price predictions for a minute. The CEO of Celsius said that Bitcoin is going all the way to $160,000 in 2021. If you don't know, Celsius is one of the leading centralized cryptocurrency lending platforms out there. Basically, its CEO said that we haven't seen the highs for Bitcoin for this year yet. He also said that when you go too high too fast, you are bound for a correction. You can see my tweets in both March and February saying, we're going to have a crash, we're going to have a correction. I predicted $30,000. Bitcoin is like a spring. We stretch it too much and we put too much leverage. Too many people got greedy. And I have to agree with him. This is a correction phase and we could definitely see it end pretty soon. Now, another price prediction talked about how we could see a lot of crazy action in July. If you remember, Jack Dorsey recently talked about the upcoming conference called the B Word. He sounded really passionate about it, but Elon Musk jumped in to mock him. And now, they're most probably going to meet there and have a chat about Dogecoin and Bitcoin. And when that happens, we could see a lot of news and tweets coming out, which could lead to some really interesting action in the market. Personally, I'm quite optimistic and I think that it'll be pretty good for Doge. Especially if we consider that Elon Musk has already started saying nice things about Doge. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching till the end. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and sharing it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications for daily videos on Dogecoin and cryptocurrency. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. Goodbye, take care.